Hey guys, my name is Seniac and welcome back to sort of a pointless city skyline experimental video where today I asked the question, can you land planes in a huge crater? This makes no sense. This has no logic. I don't know in what world you would find this useful, but we are gonna find out today. Guys, welcome back to the #1 city skyline pointless experimental video channel. I mean, no one's really said that. I'm just kind of claiming it as myself. But today I want to do something a little bit different. I'm going to create a little bit of a city right now. And the only way to get into this city is via an airport, meaning you got to fly in. But what if I put this airport at the bottom of a huge crater? Ditch? You see where I'm going with this? I want to see if the game's logic works and still enables planes to be able to land. It makes no sense, but I'm going to use the terraforming tool anyway to create a really deep ditch, and we're going to kind of create huge mountain walls, and we're going to see where we're going to go from that. So first things first then, what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to quickly build a kind of very basic setup for like a little city, a simple scenario. I ain't too bothered how it's going to turn out or how it's going to look. This is really not that important. So I bring this down right now, just big enough to kind of have like a decent population where we're going to have a consistent kind of flow of people coming in and out to visit the city. So if I then pick a little random spot here that kind of goes all the way up, this road will then take us all the way to the airport. But I got to first set up all the utilities. Just got to get it all rocking and rolling. So I just quickly run around in a beautiful circle right now. All done. Drop a little bit of a water tower. Drop a couple of wind turbines. For the power right now, that should keep us all going. I'll do this little bit of a road. Actually, no, we'll do the road over here. This will be for like the sewage and the garbage needs. We'll quickly kind of take care of them. Which probably means I gotta extend then the water, doesn't it? Yeah. See the stuff I gotta do, guys, to kind of get these experiments rocking and rolling right now. So foolish. So foolish. So we'll drop down a little bit of a basin here. This will handle the sewage. We'll then drop down something for the garbage, which the garbage happens over here. And for this, I'll use like a large recycling center if possible. That will be kind of handy. And then we just need to take care of the power. We'll use some solar power. I mean, actually, we've got quite a bit of power already, but I'll throw in some solar plants. Doesn't really matter. There we go. So we've got all the basic needs right now, apart from the services, to create our little city. So if I pause, and if I then go to placing down a bunch of residential all around here, I'll do some kind of industrial. We'll do some offices on this side to kind of break up the pattern slightly. But if I bring the industrial to about there, and then we'll do all low density commercial because they're not going to be educated enough. We'll quickly throw in right now a beautiful hospital. We'll throw in the fire and the policing. There we go. Easy boy, easy right now. And we're then just missing the death care, which we'll just kind of quickly throw this in here and here. And then we're good to go. They can leave me alone at this point. So if I press the play mode right now, nobody can actually physically move in. They can build the buildings, but no one can move in because we don't have any way that people can arrive here. This is where this beautiful experiment comes into play. Now, I could just drop down a simple airport, leave it as it is. We then rock and roll. I actually might do the Metropolitan Airport. Like that there. Wonderful. But why don't I first make it as low as I can? So if I, from the get-go right now, the terrain height is at 60. So if I drop it down to 0 and do this, we can already start the experiment with a ditch like this, okay? And then as we go on, we just make the edge around here just get higher and higher and higher and higher. Oh, this is going to be interesting, isn't it? It's going to be very interesting. So if I drop you just there, and if I quickly just then sort out my radius a bit better. So if I bring it to about here, give or take, if I just move the air. I'm trying to, undo. Can I not use the move it tool? Let me get out of that. Just slightly reposition this so it's kind of almost in line with the road. I just realised the road is somewhere else. Nope. Right, that'll be good enough for me. That'll be good enough for me. So this road here can actually come down to there. And we'll do a quick left-right. Standard, mate. Standard issue. Beautiful. So with this logic right now, you would think that this airport would be fine. It should be fine. We shouldn't see any issues with planes landing. It might be a little bit of a difficult approach for them, but these skilled, highly trained pilots will not have any issues, right? That is what we would be thinking is going to happen. So just give it a minute or two, just the game to realize and understand that, yo, we got an airport right now, which means we can start sending planes in. And we'll see what happens. So if I have a little fast forward then until the game figures it out. Sometimes you got to do other stuff to kind of get it to... There we go. Look, the population is now starting to grow, which means there's going to be planes slowly approaching and heading on their way. Now, can we see these planes? I'm not quite sure where they spawn in. Yeah, I'm not too sure, but let me fast forward anyway. A little bit of a fast forward. And before you know it, we'll start seeing these bad boys arrive. So, what are they complaining about already? Are they complaining already? Apparently they're complaining as if they were underwater. That's hilarious. That is hilarious. There we go. You can see the planes now all coming in. So, planes flying in. Amazing. Does exactly what we need them to do. But this is where we then take it up a notch. So, if I made the walls around it really, really high, like terrain in it, how will the planes adapt to this? So we know it's at a 60. I can go as high as 10,000. But if I do that, look how high that is. That's very high. Very, very high. So if I start at, say, let's start at 200. Okay. That's 20. That's definitely not 200, Seniac. So if I start at 200, and then kind of... Oh, let me undo that. There we go. And then just kind of briefly go around it. So can they adapt to it? I mean, that plane... Whoa! Okay. That plane literally came so close to the edge of that right there. So they're adapting in real time. Either they're adapting in real time or that was just perfect angles and timing for them to get in and out. So nothing's coming right now that I can see. Nothing's really... I mean, there's a couple of planes over there, but nothing's really heading... Oh, no, there is a plane on the way, I think. It could be either a plane on the way or just passing through the area. It's still complaining as if it was underwater. Maybe because I've set it on, like, 0. And the game thinks it's underwater. So there's a bunch of planes still coming in. So these should be able to still, on the approach, get in. No problem. I mean, it's a bit dramatic. To all of a sudden do, like, a huge drop. Whoa, hold on. Did that just glitch through? Right, it's coming in. Now, I don't know whether these, it's going to glitch through in general, or whether these are already predestined to come here anyway. You know where, like, when you fix traffic, but they still don't use the road because they were predetermined to take that route anyway. I wonder if that is then going to be a thing. I don't know. But as of right now, it's still technically okay. So if I go from 200 to then, let's go 700 because we're almost then at the top. And start here and then pretty much go around. I mean, in my head, I would be thinking the game logic states that if it's not reachable, then they won't attempt to try and land. And it will kind of class it as that it's not reachable, if that makes sense. Does that make sense? I could just be talking jibber jabber. Am I just talking jibber jabber, guys? Right, that plane literally has merged itself through the land. So I don't know how I feel about that at this point. What's even more hilarious is that we've got that big split in the middle for the road to kind of tear through. So I wonder what happened now then. If I have a little fast forward session. Yeah, it stays fast forward while I'm in this little view. And as I view it here, they still dive bomb straight through the mountain. Now I wonder if any of them will go above it or slightly higher as time goes on. I doubt it. They're all flying directly out. Maybe there is just, that is how it is. Like, it's kind of hilarious, isn't it? What if I made it a little bit wider? Maybe it's not thick enough. Maybe it's not wide enough. I mean, it's definitely interesting. So are you telling me right now that planes have the ability to clip through objects? I mean, I've never seen that in the real world. Well, I say in the real world. Of course, I've never seen it. Of course, I've never seen it in the real world, Zodiac. But what I mean is, when I've built cities before in the past, I've never actually seen them kind of go through a mountain. But then again, I don't tend to build airports near mountains. I kind of tend to build it knowing that they're going to have enough space to kind of pass through. So I've never had to do it in this sense. But this kind of opens up an experiment idea. What if we actually built a whole city inside of a crater? That would be hilarious, wouldn't it? But I think we need to take it to the next step anyway. And that is going for the full height distance. But all these planes are just merging through. They don't even care right now. This does not affect them. So, to answer the question right now, can planes land in the middle of a huge crater? The answer is yes. Yes, they can. But I've got another trick up my sleeve. Don't worry. I still got another trick on my sleeve, guys. That you think this is going to end here? No, 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 no. Your boy's always got tricks up his sleeve right now. Now, what they tend to do is, by the looks of it, they once they get close to it, it looks like they're on like a fixed position to land. So when they get like, they're at a certain altitude, and then when they get so far out, they start to kind of decline into landing mode. Now, what if, because we know that the plane route, oh, actually, no, we don't know the plane route's there. So we know they're actually flying in kind of here, some degree, and then turning. So what if now this is going to hurt the game. Now, what if I made all this like a certain height, as much as I can? So what I'm then saying is then that their cruising altitude is higher than what it normally is because we have this. So let's just say that that's their normal cruising altitude because of how low the floor is. So if I bring it up to here, then technically would the game then change its cruising altitude to a little bit higher? I don't know if that is then going to be a thing. So that's why I'm then going to kind of really kind of like create quite a large bit. It might take a while for this to kind of work out. But yeah, it could be interesting. Oh, okay. Well, that plane was a lot higher for a lot longer. I don't know if that changes anything, but I'm kind of giving it a little bit more time. So that plane flies directly out. Because if it changes their cruising altitude, then they might then tend to drop down a little bit more sooner. But from what I'm seeing right now, it doesn't look like it changes anything. But again, I gotta give it a minute or two for them to update their routes and whatnot. That plane there, I was just watching, was going crazy. But I honestly don't think land changes anything. Well, that plane's coming in crazy, hot and heavy. I honestly don't think the land changes anything in the game. So you're telling me I can place an airport anywhere in City Skylines and a plane will just clip through buildings, terrain, mountains, the Great Wall of China, and it will still land the plane all day, every day? Nah, I don't believe that. Right, I'm going to undo everything I've just done there recently. That shooketh me to the max. That has shocked me, boys. That has truly shocked me. Now we've got all these zigzag patterns. Weak. That has truly shocked me. I don't quite know how I feel about that. But, to answer the question, can planes land at an airport in a huge crater? The answer is yes. The pilots don't care for anybody's safety, nor do they care for their own safety. So I think on that note, guys, we're going to end it here. I've answered the question. You are now free to place your airports wherever you want. Worried about the flight path and the alignment of how planes are coming into your city? Well, worry no more. Planes have their own rules. They don't abide by the aviation laws. Physics. No. They got their own rules. And on that note, we will end it here. Hope you guys did enjoy this episode. If you did, smash the like button down below. But until next time, guys, I will see you all soon. So, goodbye.